Hello, welcome to Quays News. I'm Nathan Bagnall.
And I'm Lily McVeigh. On Monday, the achievements of women were celebrated from across the globe. From world leaders to mums, Catherine Dinsdale asked people the question, what is an inspirational woman to you?
What is International Women's Day to you? The holiday that's over 100 years old celebrates the achievements of women across history.
Not be a matter to be decided by the male.
Inspirational women that come to most people's minds are Rosa Parks, Mother Teresa, and Marilyn Monroe. But sometimes the most inspirational women can be found closer to home.
The most inspirational woman in my life was my grandmother, Johanna Matilda Greta Carosi. She was courageous, beautiful, creative, and extraordinary. She escaped Nazi Austria in 1939 with her family. On a train, the Third Reich came on. My Uncle George, who was a baby, was really poorly. And this guy said to her, this soldier, "What's wrong with the baby?" She was really beautiful and she looked up at him and she said, "He has pneumonia." And this Third Reich soldier guy just closed the blinds and shut the door and said, "Say that I've seen you and that you can stay." And that is a miracle.
The person I chose to celebrate on International Women's Day was my grandmother. She was an Estonian teacher during the Soviet occupation of Estonia for about 55 years, all at the same time as raising my older brother and sister later in life because their mum got ill when they were young children. She's an absolutely incredible woman, and she actually ended up working way past her retirement age because she loved what she did so much. I only hope that I'm even slightly like her when I grow up.
I celebrated my mum. She has come from a council estate to her own place, a managerial job, a very good managerial job. She is well recognised, award-winning, and an inspiration to me.
A woman that I find inspiring is my mum, Carol. She held down a full-time job as head of research at a local hospital whilst completing her PhD part-time, and she was also a full-time mum to 3 children.
Whether you celebrated the achievements of female scientists or your mum this year, there's no doubt that women have done some amazing things since the day was created.
After the disappearance of Sarah Everard, our reporter Eliza Barrett asked some young women about whether they feel safe in their community.
Have you ever been scared while walking alone during the day or evening?
In my hometown, it's very small, so no, but since moving to Manchester, I don't really like going by myself very often, especially at night. Like if I've got to go get a train or something like that, I'll forever be texting my friends so they know exactly where I am, and just trying to keep my head down so I don't make eye contact with anyone.
During the day sometimes if I see someone, it's kind of easier now with COVID because you can socially distance and claim it's because of social distancing, but if you see someone like maybe a male, maybe they're in like a hood or something and it's quite maybe late at night, then I'll try and cross the road and walk a different way on the road to them, just because there's that little bit of fear of you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know if anyone would find you if anything did happen.
Sometimes, like walking through Salford precinct especially, get quite scared. There's been a few times men have stopped me and you panic and I'm like, oh, I gotta go. But usually in the daytime I'm alright.
As we all know too well, COVID-19 has put a halt to many sports and clubs. Jamie Mackin found out what one Salford Gymnastics club has done.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, all of our lives have been changed. This includes Salford Gymnastic Club, who have had their longest closure in over 40 years since the club's opening. The club's plans have been largely derailed and they have had to drastically change up the way in which they teach gymnastics.
We had to revert to Zoom sessions online. So I set up loads of programs for especially my squad children, and we were just conditioning them on those Zoom calls. We were stretching them on there and getting the parents involved to kind of help them stretch properly. Just literally doing a plan every 4 weeks.
Even with the changes and attempts to keep the children involved, the gymnastic club has struggled to keep kids' attention during the pandemic.
It's like they're fed up at home, they don't know what to do with themselves because they're so active and they're used to so much exercise and things like that, and it just gone from one to another.
Stacey's daughter, Abby, and her friends have also taken on a bigger role during the pandemic and have taken it upon themselves to stay ready for gymnastics.
It's a huge part of my daughter's life. So when she's not at gym, she's just, you can tell how much she's missing it. She's got so much energy. She just seems more relaxed when she's there. It's always been a massive part of her life. She loves it.
This period has been tough for everyone, but I think it's fair to say that kids must be missing normal life just as much, if not more, than the rest of us.
It's a huge part of my daughter's life. So when she's not at gym, she's just, you can tell how much she's missing it. She's got so much energy. She just seems more relaxed when she's there. It was really difficult because they missed it so much. The club's been really supportive because we've had a lot of Zoom sessions.
Yes.
But then the Zoom sessions just aren't the same. It's the only things that they can do is conditioning, which is what she hates doing. She knows that it's something she has to do to get stronger, but it's not a favourite. A favourite thing is learning new skills. She loves the equipment. She just loves learning new things. She just loves.
Children keeping active has massive positive impacts and can help kids grow largely.
Well, it has been quite a testing week for the royal family, as the much anticipated Prince Harry and Meghan interview with Oprah was shown in the UK on Monday.
A lot of controversial subjects were touched on in the No Topic of Limits interview, talking about Meghan's suicidal thoughts to concerns from a member of the royal family, expressing concerns about how dark their baby's skin colour will be, which his brother bore the brunt of.
We have our royal correspondent Charlie O'Loughlin online. So Charlie, how could this family feud affect the royals in the long run?
Hi Lily, hi Nathan, lovely to speak to you.
Hiya.
Well, obviously we've all seen that interview and we know it's going to have a massive effect on the royal family in the long run. Certain family relations are clearly on the line, such as Harry's relationship with his own father, Prince Charles, who he revealed in the interview that his father had stopped taking his calls. Another of that is his brother, the Duke of Cambridge. The Duke of Cambridge has said in a report that he has stopped speaking to his brother and he has not yet been in touch after the interview, which must be a massive hit to Harry after having such a momentous occasion and not being in touch with his brother for that well-needed support. Not only is this set to affect family relations, but the relations with the Commonwealth countries as well. Since the interview, there has been many people online posting about how racist the royal family really are, prompting an investigation from the Queen. The Queen is set to take the investigation into her own hands and is set to speak to Harry in the next coming days.
So with that being said, Charlie, in the Queen's statement after the interview, she said the matters addressed will be looked at by the family privately. Prince Harry and Meghan's PR company also said the interview was their last word on the matter. Will this be the last the public hears about these matters?
Well, Nathan, for the time being, matters will inevitably be kept quiet, but this is not the last that we will hear of this. Things will definitely not be swept under the carpet, such as the scandal with Prince Andrew. With major things like The Crown and the Oprah interview, I have a feeling media coverage will only increase for the royal family in the coming years.
Thank you, Charlie. And as today marks a year since the coronavirus was declared a pandemic, let's take a look at some of the local heroes who have made a difference in their community over the past 12 months.
Our first COVID hero is Denton West End Library worker Christine Ingham. Throughout lockdown, Christine and her team provided craft packs for families filled with engaging activities to complete. Book exchanges for those shielding continued throughout, so no one was left alone. And if the families weren't able to connect to them from home, deliveries were made. Well done, Christine.
There's also Nicola and Simone McMillan for their amazing work at the Alliance Inn in Blakely. The landladies have provided meals for emergency service workers, raised funds for the NHS and spent thousands making the pub secure. They also helped to raise £18,000 for the family of Mia Strothers, who was killed after being hit by a car in Moston earlier this year.
And last but not least, Farah Hussain and Carly Khalid from Wythenshawe. Their community support group on Facebook now has around 6,000 followers. From arranging care packages for hospital staff to goodie bags and prescriptions being picked up and dropped off, they've reached out to everyone in the community. So thank you.
It's been great to see how much fantastic work has been done throughout Greater Manchester this year. A very well done to everyone involved from us here at Quays News, and keep up the good work.
Thanks a lot for your insight, Charlie.
That's all from us for today. Thanks for watching.